Something's brewing in Chicago, and it might just change everything for the Bears. The NFL trade deadline has officially passed, but the story isn't over yet. In fact, it might just be getting started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Chicago Bears Talk, where we break down every major move, rumor, and surprise around your favorite team. The deadline may be done, but free agency still holds a few names that could seriously boost this roster. And with the Bears making only one small trade for Joe Tryon-Shoyinka, fans are asking, what's next? Could Chicago still be exploring the free agent market to strengthen their defense? Well, we've got three names that could make things very interesting. But before we jump into the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss breaking Bears news. Alright, let's move on to the new updates. Now, let's start with a player that's already turning heads, Asante Samuel Jr. According to recent reports, Samuel is set to visit 6 NFL teams, and yes, the Chicago Bears are on that list. His visit is scheduled for next Tuesday after meeting with the Panthers, Packers, Vikings, 49ers, and finally the Steelers later next week. After undergoing spinal fusion surgery and recently being medically cleared, Samuel's comeback story is one to watch closely. Every team, including the Bears, will run their own medical exams and workouts to see if he's truly ready for action, because make no mistake, he hasn't played since early last season. If he checks out and proves he's still got it, this could be a sneaky, under-the-radar signing that strengthens Chicago's secondary in a big way. Stay with me, the next two names might surprise you even more. It's been more than a year since Asante Samuel Jr. last stepped onto an NFL field, about 14 long months. That's a big gap. But if the Bears are looking to strengthen their cornerback room, he might just be the spark they need. Samuel brings experience and production. With 6 career interceptions and nearly 40 pass breakups, he's shown real playmaking instincts. He's mostly played on the outside, exactly where Chicago needs help, but he's versatile enough to shift inside when needed. That kind of flexibility can be gold for a team still building its defensive identity. Right now, the Bears' cornerback depth looks thin. Tariq Stevenson and Deshaun Wright are holding down the outside, while Nick McLeod and Jalen Jones back them up. Jones mainly contributes on special teams, and McLeod is better suited for the nickel role. That's where someone like Samuel could make a difference. At the very least, he gives Chicago a dependable backup, and at best, he might challenge for a starting spot. Over his career, he's proven to be more consistent and technically sound than Deshaun Wright, though the long layoff and his recovery from surgery make it tough to predict exactly where he stands right now. Still, let's be honest, if Samuel returns to form, he could immediately raise the level of this secondary. Wright has done well, but he's a journeyman, reliable, not dynamic. Samuel, when healthy, has been a true starter in this league for a reason. The timing could also work in the Bears' favor. If they grab another win before Samuel's scheduled visit on Tuesday, Chicago would be sitting at 6-3, a team clearly trending upward. Combine that with an open path to playing time, and the Bears suddenly become a very appealing destination for a defensive back looking for a fresh start. Stay with me, because the next player on the list could bring even more impact. If I were in Asante Samuel Jr.'s shoes, I'd be keeping a close eye on Chicago. The Bears make a lot of sense for him, a team on the rise, a defense that needs depth, and a real chance to earn meaningful playing time. Right now, Samuel is visiting Green Bay, and sure, they might offer him a quicker starting opportunity. But fit matters just as much as opportunity. Chicago's system, energy, and improving defense could give him the perfect place to rebuild his career. From what we know, Samuel isn't rushing his decision. He plans to complete all his scheduled visits before making a move, likely sometime late next week. By then, he'll have a clear idea of where he stands, and maybe even where he wants to make his comeback. If a team makes a solid offer, Samuel could be ready to sign by mid to late next week and possibly suit up by week 12. That's assuming everything checks out medically, and that's the key. His recovery from spinal surgery is no small thing. Even though doctors have cleared him, teams will still be cautious. Every medical test, every workout, every movement he makes will be watched closely. Still, if Samuel proves he's fully healthy and close to the player he was before the injury, someone is going to take that chance. And if that someone is the Chicago Bears, this defense could quietly take another big step forward. Stay with me, the next two free agents might surprise you even more. Now let's talk about a name that Bears fans already know, DeMarcus Walker. Yes, the same Walker who was cut by Chicago right before free agency. That move caught a lot of people off guard. It wasn't because Walker played poorly, it seemed more like a scheme-related decision that freed up some cap space. Still, it's surprising that he's not on an NFL roster right now. Walker is only 31 years old and brings something every defense needs: versatility. He can line up on the edge or slide inside, depending on what the situation calls for. That kind of flexibility can quietly make a defense stronger. During his time with the Bears, he wasn't a star, but he was solid. 7 sacks in 2 seasons, and keep in mind, he played through injuries during his first year. He recently had a workout with the Commanders, which shows that teams still recognize his value. He may not be the guy who transforms your pass rush overnight, but what he does offer is reliability. He's a veteran presence who understands the locker room, knows what it takes to compete, and can step in to handle meaningful snaps when called upon. Sometimes, that's exactly the kind of player a growing team like the Bears needs: not flashy, not headline-grabbing, but dependable. Someone who can quietly fill gaps and bring stability to the defensive front. Stay with me, the final name on this list might be the most intriguing of them all. You could even slide DeMarcus Walker inside on passing downs and still get solid production from him. Honestly, it's surprising that he's still unsigned. Maybe there's something behind the scenes we don't know, but from what's visible, he still looks like someone who can help a defensive line right away. He's been active, staying in shape, and even worked out for the Commanders recently. With Chicago's rotation on the defensive front still finding its rhythm, bringing him back wouldn't be a bad idea. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka just joined the mix, and guys like Chris Williams are still taking key snaps inside, so why not bring in a veteran like Walker who can hold his ground and add some much-needed depth? Now, let's shift to a much bigger name, one that could completely change the conversation. Christian Wilkins. You might remember the story. The Raiders cut him back in July, right before training camp. It was a shocking move considering he'd just signed a massive contract not long before. But a serious foot injury changed everything. Wilkins had surgery, began rehabbing, and then reportedly faced a setback. The Raiders wanted him to undergo another procedure, but he and his personal team didn't agree with that approach. That disagreement, combined with a new coaching staff and front office, led to an unexpected split. Wilkins was released, and since then, silence. No new contract, no workouts, no official updates. There have even been quiet whispers about locker room tension in Las Vegas, but nothing confirmed. What's clear is that questions still linger: is he healthy? And if he is, why hasn't anyone signed him yet? It's been over 3 months since his release, so it's possible he's finally healed and ready. Or maybe he's still waiting for the perfect opportunity to return. Either way, his name alone carries weight, and if the Bears were to make a move, this would be one worth watching very closely. Stay with me, because the last part of this story could decide just how far the Bears are willing to go. Right now, we don't have any clear update on Christian Wilkins' health, and that's the biggest mystery. But when this guy is healthy, he's a real force inside. I wouldn't call him the best in the league, but he's absolutely one of those defensive tackles who can change a game. He can collapse the pocket, stop the run, and bring real energy to the field. He reminds me a little of Akeem Hicks: powerful, loud, and full of personality. We've seen those clips over the years: the trash talk, the intensity, the confidence. That's what makes him stand out. So, it's surprising we haven't heard more about where he stands or why no team has brought him in. Maybe there's something behind the scenes: locker room chemistry, team culture, or just caution about his injury. But let's be honest, when Wilkins is healthy, he's a disruptive interior playmaker, and on this Bears roster, he'd easily be the best defensive tackle on the team. If Chicago called him today, ran him through a workout, and he looked ready to go, it would be hard to justify not giving him a shot. Of course, 2 things matter most: his health and his fit in the locker room. If both check out, he could be exactly the kind of player who helps this team finish strong. So, there you have it: Asante Samuel Jr., DeMarcus Walker, and Christian Wilkins, 3 free agents the Bears should absolutely keep on their radar. Samuel's visit to Halas Hall is already set for next week, and that could be the first step towards something big. The Bears sit at 5-3, right around the halfway point of the season, preparing to face the Giants on Sunday. And while Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is expected to make his debut, adding another veteran or 2 could give this team the extra push it needs for a playoff run. Who do you think the Bears should target next? Let me know your thoughts.